The dancing naked tow truck driver. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. I don't give advice, suggestions, information, recommendations. I do share with you my perspective, opinion, and my sense of humor. I hope you like, share, subscribe. All 5 channel names are pinned to the top of the comment section or description box below. Well, what's Grandma talking about today? Well, you never know what I'm going to talk about. The dancing naked, drunken tow truck driver who was trying to climb through my bedroom window. Well, this is so many years ago. I was probably about 20 years old, and I was living in California. And I was living on my own, going to college, and I had a little blue, kind of ugly, it was kind of ugly car. It cost $450. It had no air conditioning. It had no radio. It was actually a red, and I had it painted for $25 for blue. But the red kind of showed through. The bumper was crooked on it. I mean, but it got me there. It got me there and back. So anyhow, one day I got a flat tire. And so I called up a tow truck company. And I said, can you come please change my tire for me? Well, this really cute tow truck driver showed up. And you could tell he really had an eye for me. He really liked me right off from the start. And I was so happy he changed my tire on my little old blue car, my blue-red car. They had no radio, but got me to and from. And so I was so happy. And, I said, thank you. Well, he kind of didn't want to leave. He kind of hung around. And I said, well, I got to go now. So anyhow, he was probably a couple years older than me. I was probably 20. I don't know. Maybe he was 25 or 30. I don't know. Somewhere in that ballpark, probably 20s. So anyhow, that night I go to bed. I have my nightgown on and everything like that. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, I hear my bedroom window. It wasn't my kitchen window. It could have been my kitchen window. It's been so long ago because it was such a small apartment. Beginning to open. And back then we didn't have air conditioning in California, at least not in those apartments. I think air conditioning was around, we just didn't have it. So we left our windows open. It was pretty safe because I lived, kind of towards the beach. And anyhow, I jumped up, I got scared. Actually, it was the kitchen window now because I remember because it was the balcony. There was a balcony, a long balcony. And I got up and I saw this naked guy who was dancing and he was singing and he was trying to climb through the window. Trying to climb through my window. I grabbed a broom and I started beating at, I don't know, his leg. I think one leg was over. And so I kept beating and said, get out. So he took his leg back over, got his leg back out on the other side, and I slammed the window, stuck something in the window so he couldn't get it open. And that was back before cell phones and everything else like that. All of a sudden I hear this knock at the door. And he said, it's Frank. I said, Frank who? He said, tow truck Frank. Tow truck Frank. Standing outside, dancing, naked. And I think he was drunk. Okay? He said, all I want is a date. All I want is a date. He was out there. He must have stood out there 15, 20 minutes dancing, singing. And I don't know what came over him, but I was to never see him again. I think he was probably so embarrassed by what he had done. But I will never forget that. I was so like, oh my gosh, there's a dancing naked guy outside my apartment. And I think actually I have no clue about the dancing naked tow truck driver. But he seemed really nice for a dancing naked tow truck driver. And then I have a second story. And I told this story in another video about the tow truck driver, although he wasn't dancing and naked. My girlfriend and I were young, and we were working in LA, and we were in our nurses' uniforms. And we were living in Palm Springs, but LA paid a lot better, so we would drive the 2.5 hours. And so it was very hot in Palm Springs at the time and coming that way into LA. And there was a kind of a desolate, long highway over by the big dinosaur restaurant. And so we were over there and we were driving, and I think it was my car. I had a brand new, I think it was a brand new 300ZX. And somehow, because of the heat, one of the nozzles or something blew and the radiator water blew out, and I had to park it. Well, we didn't have cell phones there again back there. This is, I don't know, in the early 80s. And we had to pull over. Well, we're out in the middle of, on the side of the highway, in the middle of nowhere. And so this big semi truck comes by and he stops. He says, "Can I help you, ladies?" And we said, "We don't know what to do." And he looked at the car and he said, "You need to call somebody." And I said, "Well, if I can get into someplace, I can call my boyfriend," because I had a boyfriend at the time. Well, I had a lot of boyfriends at the time. But so anyhow, we step up in our nurses' uniforms into this big semi truck, and away we go to the Dinosaur Cafe, or whatever it's called. It has those great big dinosaurs. So we go in there, and I call another tow truck company, and the tow truck company comes. They didn't come right away, so we had a piece of pie and a cup of coffee. And boy, the pie was sure good. Yum, yum. And so then the tow truck driver comes, and then suddenly we're in the tow truck with the tow truck driver. He's taking us back to the car so we can tow the car. I called my boyfriend, told him that we're bringing the car back, and if he'll, have it worked on and fixed and everything, or show me where to go and what to do. And back to Palm Springs. And so as we're going back, all of a sudden I see these police cars behind us, chasing us. And the tow truck driver would not slow down. He kept on going. So here we are, two nurses sitting in this truck with the police cars behind us, trying to get him to pull over. Oh my gosh, what was going on with this tow truck driver? Because most tow truck drivers are so wonderful and so nice and so great. But how did I end up with two crazy tow truck drivers? Okay, how did I end up with two crazy tow truck drivers? So finally he pulls over, they handcuff him, he gets in the police car, the police help us down from the truck, and away we go back to the Dinosaur Cafe, as I call it, whatever the name was, in the police car. Okay? So I can't even remember to this day how we got home. I think my boyfriend came and got us, but I am not sure. We had the car towed back to Palm Springs, got it all fixed. But I mean, that was my two crazy experiences with tow truck drivers. And, it was crazy. Ever since then, I've met all wonderful tow truck drivers. I mean, amazing tow truck drivers, respectful tow truck drivers. Just like in any other area of life, there can be crazy people and there can be wonderful people. So we never label people for what they do or who they are, because everyone is different. But I happened to get my first two tow truck drivers in my life were a bit crazy. So those are my stories about my experiences with the crazy tow truck drivers. From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.